How to create a PractiCAD command automatic. A command automatic in PractiCAD is an automatic that allows us to repeat the tasks of typing in the AutoCAD command line, all with the touch of one click. For example, if we were to highlight this grill and we wanted to change the color of this grill through the command line, we would come into the command line as we're going to do now. We're going to type in the word change. We're going to hit the space bar. We're then going to type in the letter P and hit space bar. We're then going to hit the letter C for color and hit space bar. And then we're going to type in 50, which is the color for yellow, and hit space bar once and then a second time. When you do that, AutoCAD has just changed the color of the object through the AutoCAD command line. Now, PractiCAD gives us the ability to do the exact same thing, but through a PractiCAD automatic. To create a PractiCAD command automatic, we must first go to the library icon on the PractiCAD ribbon. Unlike other automatics, there are no command automatic icons in the automatic panel. We have to create them here under the library icon. We're going to maximize our screen, then we're going to come to the left in our browser. We're going to scroll down to where we get to automatics and open up our selection, and then click on the word command for command automatics. When we do that, we must now click the green check, create a new item, and PractiCAD is going to create a new command for us. Before it does that, it's going to ask us for the BMP image. We're going to select one we'd like to use. This one's coming out of the default PractiCAD BMP database. We're going to press open. And now we're simply going to name the command auto. We're going to call it command auto for this tutorial. We've hit enter, and now we're going to look at our two options. The first section we're going to focus on is what we type in the command line. Essentially, what we do is we type in the command line here inside the command automatic section, whatever we would type into the AutoCAD command line to get AutoCAD to perform a specific task. In this tutorial, we're using the task of changing the color of an entity. And what we had to do in AutoCAD is we had to type in the word change. So we type in change. We then hit the space bar. So we're going to hit space bar here. Remember, most of the time, the space bar will mimic the enter key inside the AutoCAD command line. So we typed in change space bar. We had hit P for properties, space bar, C for color, space bar, typed in the number 50 for yellow, and then we hit space bar twice. So we're going to hit it twice here. So what we've done here is when we go to save this PractiCAD command auto and we run it, PractiCAD from left to right is going to type in all of these commands very quickly, and then AutoCAD is going to perform whatever function it was that we just told it to do so. So in order to run this, we're going to come over here to the left where it says command auto. We're going to drag this into our bin. We held down with the left mouse button and pulled it in there, and we're going to exit out of the library section. Here on the drawing we have another grill. We're going to highlight that grill, and all we're going to do is go to the automatic we created, command auto, and click once. When we do that, AutoCAD now runs through all of the functions that we told it to. And if you hit F2 and we take a look here at the large AutoCAD command window, you can see that we're running the change function. Then we're typing in P for properties. Then we're typing in C for color. Then we typed in 50. And then, of course, it's using the space bar to mimic enter. So all you need to do to automate an AutoCAD function is to run through it once in the command line, write down all of the characters that you'd like to utilize, make sure you've got the order proper, and make sure you write down all the returns you need, enter key, space bar, all the characters, and then simply string them along and put them into a PractiCAD command automatic. The next thing we're going to show you how to do is how to mimic the enter key on your keyboard. Currently, we were using the space bar in the AutoCAD command line to mimic the enter key, and most of the time this will work. However, sometimes you must physically hit the enter key to get AutoCAD to jump to the next part of the command. In this particular case, we must use a symbol to mimic the enter key in the PractiCAD command automatics. For example, we're going to exit out of the AutoCAD text window. We're going to click on our GRD. Currently, you can see that we are on the layer miscellaneous text. However, using nothing but the command line, we're going to move this grill back to the ML grid layer. you can see that the name of the layer is underscore ML underscore GRD. So what we're going to do is come into the command line. We're going to type in the word change, and now we're going to hit the space bar. We're going to hit P for properties, space bar. Here we're going to type in LA for layer. You can always tell what the command is because it's capitalized. You see here, to switch it to a layer, it's LA. So we type in LA space bar. And now right here, AutoCAD in the command line saying to enter the new layer name. And we're going to put in underscore ML underscore GRD. And that's the name of the layer. Now here's where the problem would come in. If I hit the space bar, each time I hit space bar now, AutoCAD in the command line thinks it's part of the layer name. In other words, there is no way for us to jump to the next part of this command unless I physically hit the enter key on my keyboard, which I'm going to do now and hit enter. Now what we do is we can hit the enter key again, and that actually took this GRD and it moved it to the ML grid layer. So once again, using nothing but the command line, we were able to perform the function move to another layer, but we were not able to do it without the enter key. In this particular case, we must use a special character that MetaLab has added to the system to mimic the enter key. To demonstrate this, we're going to design the PractiCAD command automatic that would do exactly what we did in the command line. However, we're going to use the special symbols to mimic the enter key. So what we're going to do is go into the library icon on the PractiCAD ribbon and go back to our AutoCAD command automatic section. And what we're going to do here is simply open up our browser, and now we're going to edit this from the beginning. We're going to type in exactly what we typed in to mimic the command move to another layer. We have to type in the word change spacebar, P for properties spacebar, LA for layer spacebar. Then what we did here is we had to name the actual layer. So we're going to go underscore ML underscore GRD. Now it was at this exact moment where we were not capable of actually using the spacebar for enter. Here we are forced to physically hit the enter key. So what we've done in MetaLab is we've made it so that if you type in two characters /n, both of them, anytime /n is typed into the PractiCAD command line, it's going to mimic the enter key. So we actually needed two of them for this, so we're going to go /n again. So what's going to happen when we run this PractiCAD command automatic is it's going to rapidly put in change, spacebar, P, spacebar, LA, spacebar. Then it's going to type in the name of the layer, and then it's going to hit the enter key twice. So now we're going to save. We're just going to exit out. We've already dragged that command into our bin, so we don't need to do it again. And now what we're going to do is simply move this to a different layer. Right now we're just keeping it on the ML supply. And now we're just going to, while this is highlighted, run the command auto once. When we click one time, you can see that it's taken it and it did move this entity to the ML grid layer. And if we hit F2, you can see once again what it did. It came and it first went into the change portion of the automatic, and then did the P for properties, it did the LA for layer, it typed in everything we needed, and what you don't see here in the text window is that it's using the enter key. And it did it twice because we did /n. So anytime you put /n, it will mimic the enter key. You can utilize that virtually always. You don't actually need the space bar. However, you have the option to use both, but when you've got to use the enter key, /n.